Guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. So we have 3 to the power of x equals 5 to the power of 2x. And what we're first going to do is we're going to simplify this right-hand side of it. We have 5 to the power of 2x. And if you guys already didn't know, an important property of exponents is that if we have a to the power of b times c, this can be written as a to the power of b to the power of c, and also vice versa. It could also be written as a to the power of c to the power of b. So what we're going to write this as is, well, let's first write our 3 to the power of x, and this equals 5 to the power of 2 to the power of x. Now, 5 to the power of 2, as we all know, is 25, right? So this is 3 to the power of x equals 25 to the power of x. Now what we're going to do is we're going to divide by 25 to the power of x on both sides. So we're going to divide this by 25 to the power of x. And remember, what we do on one side, we do on the other side. So we're going to divide this side by 25 to the power of x. So now we have 3 to the power of x over 25 to the power of x equals 25 over x over 25 to the power of x. And remember, anything divided by itself equals 1. So these two cancel out, and this just equals 3 to the power of x over 25 to the power of x equals 1. Now, whenever we have something like this, and we have our numerator going to the power of an exponent and our denominator going to the power of the same exponent, we can rewrite this as 3 over 25 to the power of x equals 1. Because the x, it just multiplies with all our numbers here. So this is equal to this. And now what we want to do is we want to make our bases the same. So another way to write 1 is 3 over 25 to the power of 0. And that way, both our bases would be the same. So this is equal to 3 over 25 to the power of x equals 3 over 25 to the power of 0. Because remember, this is equal to 1, and now we changed both of the terms so that they have the same bases. And now, because both of these terms have the same bases, we know that their exponents are equal to each other, because if they weren't, then this would be false. So now we could just ignore these two bases and set these exponents equal to each other. So x is equal to 0. And this is actually our answer, because we can't simplify this anymore. This is our answer. X is equal to 0. Now, why don't we plug this in and check? We have 3 to the power of 0 equals 5 to the power of 2 times 0. 3 to the power of 0 is 1, and this equals 5 to the power of 2 times 0 is 1. 2 times 0 is 0, and 5 to the power of 0 is 1. So this is 1 equals 1. So this is right, meaning our answer is x equals 0. Guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. So we have x to the power of 4 minus 9 equals 0. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to change x to the power of 4 to x squared to the power of 2. Because remember, an important property of exponents is that we have a to the power of m to the power of n. This is also equal to a to the power of m times n. So what I'm doing is I'm simply reversing this. I'm converting it back to its original form. So x squared to the power of 2 minus, I'm going to change 9 to 3 squared. And this is still equal to 0. Now, an important equation or expression that we have is a squared minus b squared. And a squared minus b squared, if you guys already didn't know, is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So a squared minus b squared can be written as a plus b times a minus b. So as you can see right here, what I've done is I've changed this equation to match it up with a squared minus b squared. A in this case, a is equal to x squared. And b is equal to 3. So we have x squared to the power of 2 minus 3 squared, and this is also equal to a squared minus b squared. So all we have to do is plug in a and b into our expression here, a plus b times a minus b. So a is x squared, so we have x squared plus b is 3 times x squared minus 3. So now this equals 0. And now this gives us two equations. We have x squared plus 3 equals 0, and x squared minus 3 equals 0. So for x squared plus 3 equals 0, we saw this right here, we're going to subtract 3 on both sides. So if we subtract 3 on both sides, we get x squared is equal to negative 3. Now, if we take the square root on both sides, we get x equals positive or negative square root of 3i. So this is actually two solutions because we have positive and negative. Now for x squared minus 3 equals 0, we're going to add 3 on both sides. So we get x squared equals 3. Now if we take the square root on both sides, we get x equals positive or negative 3. So now our four solutions are x equals square root of 3i, x equals negative square root of 3i, x equals square root of 3, and sorry, forgot to put that over here, and x equals negative square root of 3. So these four are our solutions.